In this video, we will talk about integrating troubleshooting to network maintenance process. Network maintenance involves many different tasks, and for some of these tasks, such as supporting users, responding to network failures, or disaster recovery, troubleshooting is a major component of the tasks. So the tasks that do not revolve around fault management, such as adding or replacing equipment, moving servers and users, and performing software upgrades, will regularly include troubleshooting processes too. Hence, troubleshooting should not be seen as a standalone process, but as an essential skill that plays an important role in many different types of network maintenance tasks. So to troubleshoot effectively, you must rely on many processes and resources that are part of network maintenance process. You need to have access to up-to-date and accurate documentation. You rely on good backup and restore procedures to be able to roll back changes if they do not resolve the problem that you are troubleshooting. So you need to have a good baseline of the network so that you know which conditions are supposed to be normal on your network and what kind of behavior is considered abnormal. Also, you need to have access to logs that are properly time-stamped to find out when particular events have happened. So, in many ways, the quality of the troubleshooting processes depends significantly on the quality of your network maintenance processes. Therefore, it makes sense to plan and implement troubleshooting activities as part of the overall network maintenance process and to make sure that troubleshooting process and the maintenance process are aligned and support each other, making both processes more effective. So let's continue with network documentation. Network documentation is expected to include the features we see on the screen. The first thing, network diagrams. We need to keep up to date physical and logical topologies of the network. Also, labeling of cables and interfaces is very important. Sometimes the port description information may remain obsolete. It is very important to label the interface and cables in order to make it easier to detect errors when there is a physical problem. It is useful to have sub-document that summarizes the connections of the internal devices to the outside, for example with the service provider. Also, it is very much important to have an inventory of models, serial numbers, software versions and licenses of all devices used in the network. I mean hardware and the software inventory. Also, it is very much important to keep an addressing schema where all the IP blocks on the network take place. And lastly, it is important to have copies of device configurations that needs to be archived. Let's continue with baseline documents. The only way to know what is normal for your network is to measure the network's behavior continuously. Knowing what to measure is different for each network. In general, the more you know, the better it is, but obviously this has to be balanced against the effort and cost involved in implementing and maintaining a performance management system. The list you are seeing on the screen describes some useful data to gather and create a baseline. The first thing is key performance statistics. So interface load for critical network links, CPU load, and memory usage of routers and switches are essential statistics to gather. These values can be pulled and collected on a regular basis using SNMP and graphed for visual inspection. The second important document is accounting of network traffic. So remote monitoring, network-based application recognition, NBAR, or NetFlow statistics can be used to profile different types of traffic on the network. And the last important baseline document is measurements of network performance characteristics. So the IP SLA feature in Cisco IOS can be used to measure critical performance indicators such as delay and jitter across the network infrastructure. And lastly, we will talk about the change control. Change control is one of the most basic operations in network maintenance, guys. There is no difference between making changes as part of the maintenance process or as part of the troubleshooting process. In change control, procedures, urgency, necessity, impact, and risk balancing should always be addressed. So troubleshooting can be a perfect fit with well-defined and well-documented change processes. Alright guys, that is it from my side for this section also, and thank you so much for joining me.